Coming up on Metrofile this week, Nigerians and indeed Africa celebrates one of the country's finest journalists and the publisher of the high-octane society journal Ovation magazine, Basharu Ayobamidele Momodu. Now he joins the Noble Club of the 60s.
I've been to many places, Malaysia. I've traveled far and wide.
Akin Sugar, the band leader and lead vocalist of Sugar Band, is also our guest on the show this week. He talks to us about the industry and the devastating effect of COVID-19. All right, COVID-19 is still in our midst, no doubt about that. And as we continue to navigate the murky waters of the pandemic, lots of people are deciding to make the most out of the situation, figuring out how to live their lives normally, not be afraid, and still have their parties, most importantly, while observing social distancing. Now, Basharu Dele Momodu did so you can as well. Let's find out how, shall we? We kindly watch out for flash images while we do that. I'm Oge Chukwose. Warm welcome to the program. Well, it was more or less World Dele Momodu's Day recently. The Ovation magazine boss got love shown to him from all over the world as he joins the Diamond Club. Let's check it out. The year 2020 was supposed to host a grand celebration and talk of the town festivity for Basharu Ayobamidele Momodu, the publisher and editor-in-chief of Ovation magazine. As it is the year he officially joins the 60s club. Now, as things would turn out, he proudly relishes the privilege of adding a new year. But the realities of the present puts pay to all the elaborateness that was supposed to usher in the new diamond age. Bob D, as he's proudly and affectionately called, has over the years earned a reputation of a life of the party personality, and many couldn't wait for an opportunity to party with him at his 60th birthday until the pandemic broke out. But the show must definitely go on, and so it did, albeit online. Zoom party to the rescue.
It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 60th birthday celebration of Basharu Ayobamidele Ojutelego Ajani Momodu. I know a few of you can see me, and so it's a virtual party. You are going to pretend you're at a party.
Now let's pause for a minute and take a look at the journey of this 60 years, and who better to take us through it than Basharu himself, Ayobamidele Momodu.
It's been a long journey, but I won't bore you with so much detail. I was born in the ancient city of Ile-Ife in 1960, May 16th to be precise. And I did all my education in Ife, primary, secondary, university. My father had migrated from the old Midwest, in now Edo State, to Ile-Ife, settled down in Ife, met my mom, and they got married. So, after my education at the then University of Ife, thereafter I worked for the then Deputy Governor of Ondo State, Chief Akemo Bodowo, as a private secretary. Unfortunately, before long, the Buhari coup took place and all politicians were thrown into prison, and my boss was one of those incarcerated. He was in our prison. So I was staying in his house in Nigeria, and I would drive to our prison almost on a daily basis to go and see him. Thereafter, I worked for the then Oni of Ife again, Oba Adesidju Adeolubuse II. But what I'm trying to build up for you is that it was like God had my path well laid out for me. Because everywhere I walked prepared me for the journey towards Ovation.
Back to the party.
Can I please ask all those who are on right now from all over the world, from Europe, from America, from Nigeria, from Brazil, from Ghana, please rise up, let us take the opening hymn. All hail the power of Jesus' name. Oh, that
Pastor Itwai Godalo of the Trinity House and other men of God conducted a special service in honor of the celebrant as family and friends joined the virtual celebration. The celebrant and wife, Bolaji, hosted guests from all over the world who made the occasion special for him.
Daily, the Lord is with you, and the Lord will be with you in the name of Jesus Christ.
Ojoojúmọ́ ni wọ́n máa dúpẹ́. Ẹ̀mí ayọ̀ lọ́rùn lógo. Ojoojúmọ́ ni wọ́n máa dúpẹ́. Ó yá ọpẹ́ mi sẹ́, ọpẹ́ mi kò tó. Ojoojúmọ́ ni wọ́n máa dúpẹ́. Ẹ̀mí ayọ̀ lọ́rùn lógo. Ojoojúmọ́ ni wọ́n máa dúpẹ́.
Now, your 60th birthday happened to be around this time the whole world is sick. Yeah, I'm going to say that. Now, would you, does this time call for a deeper reflection for you?
I was planning something very big originally, you know, I had booked a hotel. Then, when things were not going, I was still a bit shaky. I said, no, we can't do something that massive. That, okay, maybe we will use Orientals. Then eventually, I settled for Harbour Point. So I already had Harbour Point locked down for May 31st, because 16th, I was going to be with the family in London, go to church, come home, then have a party in the garden. But that was not going to happen. So I left it, and I always listen to new ideas. And you know, I'm very, very strong on social media. So I said, okay, let me look at it. So I read up about Zoom parties and how others have done it in other countries. And we said we're going to have the biggest Zoom party in Africa, and that we're going to trend in Africa and in the world. That was our mission. And I believe we achieved it.
In the last 60 years of your life, what would you say life has taught you?
Life has taught me so much in 60 years, as you would expect. But the number one lesson is that you must acquire good education. And by education, I don't mean going to school. Education means the totality of the knowledge that you have acquired. A lot of people believe that they will get a job if they go to school. But good education prepares you also for joblessness. So that if you don't have a job, so what do I do in the meantime? The other lesson I learned is about discipline. You must discipline yourself as a human being. Never do anything too much.
Now, I'm going to take you back to the Zoom party again. Now, you may not have celebrated the way you wanted to, but I guess you felt the love shown to you from the Zoom party. People could log in. Tell us more about it.
In retrospect, trust me, I'm happy that I didn't do a normal party. A normal party would have been, there is nothing I'm going to do that I've not done before. For me, COVID-19, I've been the biggest beneficiary of COVID-19. You know, the Yorubas have a saying, I don't know if you speak Yoruba at all, out of a black pot comes the white pap, the pap that we... So, God knew what he was doing when it provided for technology. I've not seen my children in the last maybe over 2 months. They don't miss me, I don't miss them. Because if you want to see them virtually, all you have to do, you can do WhatsApp call, you can do Zoom, you can do Skype. There are many options. It's like sitting in front of you. And what do you gain from that? You are saving money. Before we used to fly, my budget on flying alone in 1 year, you don't want to believe how much it was. We had planned all sorts of parties. We were going to Turkey, we were going to Portugal, we were going to Brazil. Now, we're not spending all that money again. So, that's one. Then, business-wise, it means that you need to now remodel how you run your business.
A family man, a well-respected journalist and friend to many, Chief Dele Momodu means different things to different people. And on the occasion of his 60th birthday, he gets a rare privilege to hear people's opinion of him. Leaders from across Africa also had a thing or two to say about him, even as the social media space joined in the celebration. President Muhammadu Buhari led the pack through his media aide, Mr. Femi Adesina, and then followed by other African leaders.
Bob D, it really is a special pleasure for me to join so many other friends and compatriots across the nation and internationally to celebrate your 60th birthday. You have by any measure been an outstanding innovator in Nigerian journalism.
I want to use this opportunity to congratulate you for achieving the age of 60. And to commend you greatly for the job you have been doing. You have made a lot of impact for people, especially the younger generations in this country.
What do you want in a friend? The first quality you want in a friend is loyalty. And I can say well and truly that you cannot have a more loyal friend than Dele.
And as I reflect on the person that he is, the impact he has made, and the way he has provided opportunities for many of his friends, including me, I'm really lack of words as to how to start.
I want to wish Bob D and his entire family the very, very best of today. I want to wish Bob D, his 4 lovely big boys, his wife, happy birthday on behalf of my wife, Ijoke, and the entire people of Lagos State. We're indeed happy with what you have achieved, as a detribalized Nigerian, as a true son of the soil, as a Pan-Africanist.
Goodwill messages also came from former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Governor of Ogun State, Mr. Dapo Abiodun, and the chairman of Eleganza Group of Company, Chief Razak Okoya and family, amongst others.
From all the encomiums you saw or heard people say about me, you will know that there must be something about this guy. 60 years is no joke. If I'm lucky to be 80, it means I have 20 years more. So even the 60 years that I have attained now is a privilege from God. A lot of my mates, a lot of my friends did not make 60. They didn't offend God. And nobody knows the appointed time or hour that you will leave the world. So every day you live, do great things, do good things, be nice to people. And that's it.
A renowned columnist and publisher, Chief Dele Momodu saw an opportunity years ago and seized it. That gave birth to his popular social diary magazine, Ovation.
When we started Ovation, don't forget I was in exile under the regime of General Sani Abacha. And when that happened, we wanted a journal that will have entertainment and also have seriousness, so we can also fight the military government. But somewhere along the line, one day we carried a wedding, just by chance. It was Patrick Kushuni's wedding in London at the Landmark Hotel on Marylebone Road, London. And when the story came out, everybody said, you guys, you look like Hello. Hello magazine. I'm like, eh. So I went and picked Hello magazine and looked at it. I said, this looks beautiful. If we produce this in Nigeria, it will be a winner. We that we do very colorful weddings. Even these Oyibo people cannot do our kind of events, That was how slowly but steadily we started.
Chief Dele Momodu also had the privilege of listening to virtual performances from prominent gospel artists like Laolu Gbenjo, Tim Godfrey, and Sami Okposo.
Happy birthday! I am saying I love you, Bobby. May God be with you till the end of time. away. Make it say well done to you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I said it's indeed a kind of joy, a great joy to be here to celebrate the enigmatic and iconic Basharu Dele Momodu.
A second phase of the party continued with comedian and compare TA conducting proceedings with more virtual performances from Waka Queen Salawa Beni and Sir Shino Peters.
Basharuga, Basharu Dele Momodu mi, aláṣẹ aviation, ọ̀gá ọmọ Bọ́lájí bẹ́ẹ̀ni, Bọ́lájí tí ò lọ́gàá, Bọ́lájí tí ò ní rẹ́fà. Abíọ́dún máa bá ròde ọmọ dára máa jà mí. Délé èrè o. Momodu, Dele Momodu, Momodu, Dele Momodu, èrè o, Dele, èrè lọ́lọ́jà ẹ̀jẹ̀ tó bá wọ̀dà olùwà wájẹ́.
The cutting of the cake was also conducted virtually by the publisher of these day newspapers, Prince Ndoka Obagbina.
To the glory of God and the evergreen life of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and evergreen life of Dele Momodu. Thank you very much.
The chairman of United Bank for Africa, Mr. Tony Elumelu, then took over proceedings with a toast. You ventured into politics and ran for the highest office. For me, I felt that was very daring because of the kind of politics we practice in Nigeria, two major political parties. How did you think Nigerians were ready for the real change? And for you, considering that the platform you were coming from didn't have that structure, and in terms of resources, you can't compare that to the other two major political parties. What gave you that conviction that Nigerians were ready for that kind of change you wanted to bring?
Number one, I will confess to the fact that I was naive, I was simplistic, and probably overconfident. And my confidence came from the emergence of Barack Obama in America. I felt, the young people of Nigeria, we have about 70% youth population. And that the young people, they've always complained that they don't want the old order again, they want the old men to vacate power. So, and I believed that the first thing you need in politics is all called visibility. I was very visible. I was about 50 years old when I started campaigning. That was one. Number two, I felt that they were tired of the two leading political parties at that time. That was also an error of judgment. The lesson I learned from that is that you cannot win election unless you get the ticket of either of the two leading parties. So if ever I will contest again, it means I have to be, I don't know what parties will exist then, but presently it will have to be PDP or APC. But then I went to Labour Party thinking that I could galvanize all the workers of Nigeria into Labour. So that way, one, we won't need to depend on the money of any rich man. If you have a workers' platform, then you can deduct money every month from every worker in Nigeria. That will run into billions. So that way, the candidate of the Workers' Party or Labour Party or whatever you call it will not need to depend on seeking donations from the big pockets. Now, that was again an error of judgment. By the time I moved from Labour, I moved to the National Conscience Party, where I contested eventually. I didn't have enough firepower.
Are you thinking of trying again?
I don't think so. The complexities, except I am drafted by one of the leading political parties. You see, for now, there is no ideological difference between the parties. That is why it's very easy for politicians to crisscross. Today you are in APC, tomorrow you are in PDP, tomorrow you are back in APC, then tomorrow you are back in PDP. So Nigeria has not reached that stage where you have the ideological positioning. So what I I mean by that is that I'm not going to go and waste my time, waste my resources. I'd rather concentrate on what I'm doing right now. But who knows tomorrow? Nobody knows.
Well, before we rounded off the interview, the celebrant took us on a tour in his library, the kitchen, if you will, where most of his creative works are cooked.
See some of the great men and women I've met. Dora Kuyili, my very dear sister, God bless her soul. Obakwande Shijuade.
The president?
Yes, Buhari.
Bill Clinton?
Yes, former Emir of Kano.
Okay.
Yes, Bill Clinton is there, the former president of Ghana, the Ashanti King of Ghana, President George Bush. That's the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former President of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, the Awujale of Jebuland, Her Majesty the Queen. We have Absalami Abubakar, there, the former head of state.
He may not have celebrated the way he had planned, but one thing is, however, certain, that Basharu Ayobamidele Momodu is a fulfilled man who, like a tiger, wear his stripes ever so proudly for all to see. Now here is to many more years of celebrations. Happy birthday once again, sir, and it was a pleasure speaking with you. Now, when we return, Akin Sugar, the band leader and lead vocalist of Sugar Band, is our guest. Don't go away. Welcome back. You're still watching Metrofile right here on Channels Television. Now, we get up close and personal with Akin Sugar, the band leader and lead vocalist of Sugar Band. Enjoy it.
I've been to many places, Mabea, Malaysia. I've traveled far and wide, Colombo, Melbourne. No place like my Lagos. Come feel the spirit of my...
His voice and great mastery of live musical performance is always a delight at parties.
I have been to London, I have seen America. Lagos is the place for me.
Akin Sugar, band leader and lead vocalist of Sugar Band and MD CEO of Sugar Entertainment, is an award-winning musician and one of those who continue to give the business of live band prominence. With the outbreak of the coronavirus, an eventual ban on large gatherings only means him and his colleagues are out of business at the moment, and that is costing him a lot.
Everything is affected, everything, every sphere, you know. So, and entertainment, restaurant business, hotel business, I think we are the worst off because of, the close proximity of the things we do. We have to be in large gatherings. Most of the events we do are about 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 capacity. So you're at an event on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you're exposed to about 8,000 people. That's a lot of crowd. So then, how do we go afterwards? So these are the questions.
Questions obviously begging for answers, which the industry practitioners seem not to have at the moment. But they are hoping to figure out as time goes on.
We need to start looking post-COVID. A lot of our businesses are frozen, like I said. And so the gradual thawing or defrosting or defreezing of this business afterwards should be the survival first, which is where we are now. We'll survive the period and then we'll go into the next phase, which is business continuity plans. And then thank God for all the stimulus packages and all. But then anybody who is not, it's unfortunate, but anybody who is not there, who hasn't survived, is not going to be talking about business continuity. People will be mourning. They'll be mourning over, their loved ones and all. And it's really, really a sad occurrence.
We can share a love divine. Please don't make me wait again.
While they continue to brainstorm, Sugar and his colleagues are trying to find ways to benefit from the stimulus packages made available by the government.
We've been talking to ourselves as to how to benefit from those packages. But there are also requirements. We're talking about the livelihood of so many people attached to us. So many. From staff to operations to this to our own family members, and also there's so many people. There's an interconnectivity there. We are talking to a few people. Gradually, we know we'll get the ears of the government.
Akin Sugar and his live band is known to perform at high-profile events in Nigeria and abroad. The artist, who is also the founder of the Sugar Limb Foundation Empowerment, has carved a niche for himself in the industry. Today, his name is synonymous with live music in Nigeria.
We're used to earning every weekend. Now we're not anywhere, it's zero income. Now rent is the same, utility is the same, salaries have to be paid. Like the model we run, where we run an entertainment company, we have to pay people. So we have to tell people that, okay, you go home, we'll pay, everybody works from home, work online, and we'll be paying 50%. But now, zero income is zero.
We don't chop Ghana high right. Oh yeah, so Chinese campus mythology.
In the midst of this global challenge, he remains hopeful, and he is extending that message of hope to all Nigerians.
For Nigerians first, Nigerians should just be patient. It's not going to be easy, it's a rough ride. We're in the middle of the storm now. The storm is going to stop. After the storm, it's still going to be a bit uncomfortable afterwards. And then, by God's grace, things will pick up. Nigerians are very resilient people. We're very strong people. But what we need to do right now is to encourage ourselves, one for the other.
Akin Sugar right there, the band leader and lead vocalist of Sugar Band, talking about the effect of COVID-19 on their industry and also giving a message of hope to Nigerians, especially at these trying times. Okay, we end the show at this point. Thank you once again for joining us. Join us again on Saturday at 12 noon for a repeat broadcast. You can also watch this on channelstv.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and also reach us with the number blinking on your screen. I'm Ogechukwu Osis. Stay safe. We'll be back again next week. Bye for now.